Guys, we just rolled here. It is June 25th, 24th, going into the 25th, 2020. I'm coming at you with a video. I'm going to start here with this Schumann. I'm going to run you through some basic stuff tonight too with some of the solar conditions that's going on. And guess what, guys? We got a couple more sun-diving comets. It's kind of crazy. I'm also going to show you Comet NEOWISE. That's showing up on one of the coronagraphs, and it's pretty cool. And yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff actually still going on, but obviously we'll start right here. I'm sure you guys are seeing that. That's a very significant spike. So yeah, if you guys are, and I know you guys are really paying attention too, because I started getting comments and emails as soon as that thing popped up on this tool. And I love that, because that's telling me that you guys are really, you guys are taking this seriously and looking at this now. A lot of you guys already did, but I know that there's more of you now looking at this than what was before. And I think that's a great thing. So obviously, we got two different little, well, not little, but there's that one. Okay. Now, you've heard me say pulse, like a pulsing spike, and then like an OG spike, what I call it, old school type of thing. This first one, it's more of an OG spike, I guess you could call it, because there's really no like lines in it, like right there. Okay, it just wasn't very big. It didn't last very long, I should say. Now, this other one is most definitely an OG. Okay, this is what we used to always see when we got spikes. Just so you guys know, there's no. This is what I've been talking about. There is no lines in here. It's a solid white. So that means it's when that frequency got there or started happening at that intensity, it stayed there. It never started and stopped, the stuff we've been seeing. So that's the difference, guys. It's a really good way to show you guys that. I'm glad it, kind of happened that way. But if you guys were getting ringing in your ears or any of that other stuff that we've talked about before, guys, this thing can cause so many things. It can make us feel really bad or really good, or just normal, or just feeling kind of blah. We're feeling kind of blah sometimes. I do think that when we're getting these pulses, like right here, see all these different little lines. A data point, like I said on here before, guys, is a straight line down. So any frequency that's happening during that time right there shows up on that line. So when we see these lines going across here all the time, that means stuff is coming and going really fast. And it would, for me, it kind of lends itself to, like kind of like a roller coaster of emotion. I do think that I see that a lot. I feel it a lot, believe it or not. I feel a lot of times when I'm, not sure how I feel, you're just kind of there, and then you'll feel bad, you'll feel good, you'll feel bad, you'll feel good, and there's nothing in between. I think a lot of times this is what we're experiencing when that happens. The on off. And, so don't think that you're abnormal when you start feeling like that, because you're not alone. I think it's a big mass situation. Everybody is feeling it, just to be honest. And with this thing going all crazy all the time now, guys, I really, truly, wholeheartedly believe that this is part of why we're seeing a lot of the civil unrest. This is directly related to crime rate, guys, and mental health. There's more psychiatric admissions during spikes on this thing. That is a fact. That they have studied this multiple times. That is a statistic that is true. People go nuts when this stuff goes crazy. So when this thing is, doing its thing, and you start seeing a bunch of crazy stuff out there in the world, they're probably related. That's what I'm trying to say. And if we know the source of it, then we can attack it at a different angle. And that's what I'm trying to say. Because, if you know why you're feeling bad or why you're feeling like that, it does help you not act on how you're feeling. Okay? Because it ain't really what you are. It's just how you're being influenced by something. And if you're being influenced like that, you can stop and just, hey, that's what that is. I need to calm down. That kind of thing. And that's why I think this is so important to look at. Anyway, we'll move on. Okay, guys, I got you over at seeds. This is LASCO C2. This is our view. Earth's here, satellite there. We're looking at the sun. So anything that's happening to the left is our left. Anything happening to the right is our right. Now, this is back on the 23rd. I already showed you guys this one, and I'm just kind of walking you guys through this for a second. Okay? So we see that, and obviously we got stuff going on the right. That's that CME that is coming our direction. I do believe that we're going to catch a glancing blow from it. We go to the next day, which would be the 24th, which is today, and we're going into the 25th. Now you can see there on the left side there was another ejection. Okay, and I'm showing you these small ones because I'm going to show you guys some data here, or at least a definition, and what's supposed to be happening during solar minimum and solar maximum, that kind of thing. I'm going to show you something here in a minute, but again, another CME. And yes, it's not that big, but it's still a CME, guys. And believe it or not, there was even another one over here, a small one, a real small one. Okay? And this one here was all kinds of weird anyway. If you look at, watch this thing when it happens. It's almost like, I don't even want to say it, but it's almost like there might have been something there, and you've seen the stuff come off, and it kind of draped around it. It's what it almost looks like. And I'm not trying to say that that's what's actually happening right there, because I just don't know. But if you look at it close enough, you can kind of see that it does kind of resemble something like that. It could be or it couldn't be. I can't say one way or the other right here. You guys make up your own mind on what you think there. Does it really matter? Well, it would and it wouldn't. We've seen stuff 100 times like that. Scott's caught so many objects right there. So it definitely could be. I'm not sure if the timing's right for that one. But anyway, that one there is definitely a CME going that direction. Okay? It's not coming at us. I don't even think the CME tracker updated for that. So, but let me show you these other two Sundivers. This is crazy. Okay? I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I am going to slow it down a little bit. But take it down to, oops. Man, I hate it when I do that. That's probably the correct speed. What we're going to look at, you're going to see one kind of come in the picture here, and then you're going to see another one right behind it here. Okay, so I'm going to leave those circles on there. You guys seeing those? They're real small. At least on this capture they are. Here, let's just redo that. It'd be right in here. See it right there? And then another one's right in here. See it? Now, that makes like 6 Sundivers in a week. I don't know that I've ever known that to happen. And whether or not these things make it all the way to the sun, I don't know. But these are most definitely sun-diving comets. I mean, they're heading that direction. They're moving pretty quick. Whether or not they actually dive into the sun is the question. They do look like they're heading in that general direction. Okay? So take that for what it's worth. But there's 2 more right there. It blows my mind. But it just shows you that we're kind of in an active area right now, an active time, because we're seeing all this debris too, more debris than what we usually see on like a normal day. This isn't like extremely excessive, but it definitely is a little bit above average of what we see. I did see something else over here I wanted to show you guys I thought was really, really interesting. Let's see if I can't catch it. Not sure if it's on this day or the day before. It might have been the day before. Yeah, so let me go back a day and see if we can't see it. Man. Yeah, I'm not seeing it right now. I'm not going to waste time trying to find that for you guys. I don't want to keep you guys here too long. Now, I know, guys, listen. I know I do some small talk. I got a couple comments, and that's okay. I accept the criticism that sometimes I do talk a little bit more than probably what I need to. But I feel that some people, especially the new people, sometimes need that little bit of an extra explanation. And I ain't going to try to cut down on that some. I'm not going to get rid of it all because I think the explanation needs to be there. But I will try to be more on point. Okay, guys, this is Space Weather Prediction Center, NOAA. Okay, these are our conditions, space weather conditions. Now, as you can see, our let's see here. Our solar X-ray flux here has the baseline seems as though it's coming up some. Okay, and what that means is most likely we're starting to see some active areas of the sun that are facing us become a little bit more active. They don't have to be actual sunspots, but they can still be active areas and give us X-ray. Okay, and what does that mean? Nothing really, except for I think it does affect like radio propagation and stuff like that for people that need radios and stuff like that, emergency workers and such for communication. Now, geomagnetic activity, I don't see anything going on there at all. That's pretty consistently staying about the same level. I don't think it's like extremely low. If it drops all the way off and stays that way for a couple days, they'll put out a cosmic ray alert. But other than that, there's not a whole lot there. But check this out. Okay, I want you guys to see this. That is Comet NEOWISE. Okay, that right there. And I'm gonna do the time lapse here. And I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of talk of this. There already is. Okay, it's going to hang around for a minute. I don't think it's going to dive all the way into the sun. Okay, it's not. I don't think that's the case here. It could. I don't know for sure, but it looks like probably what it'll do the little boomerang action around the sun. It'll get right here. It'll capture it back and fling it back on out, and it'll keep doing that orbit. Okay, and that's how we know. Like with Hale-Bopp and Halley's Comet and stuff, that's how we know when to look for this stuff, because it's in that same orbit all the time, just like we are around the sun. So anyway, there's that. Now, there's going to be some discussion about this for at least up until after the 4th of July, because I think it's going to be pretty visible from what I understand. It might not be like naked eye visible, but I think it's going to be kind of easy for the astrophotographers to catch this. Maybe even Bruce Swartz over Bruce Sees All might catch it. I don't know if he's got plans for that or not. I don't know. That'd be cool though, if we could get some home captures of this. That would be awesome. But I don't know how difficult that is. I really don't. I don't know enough about trying to navigate a telescope in space and finding out where you're at. So, but yeah, so there's that comet that everybody's talking about, NEOWISE, and it's going to be on this tool for a while. We'll see it here for a week probably, and I think it's supposed to show up on Stereo A, which is the satellite that's over here looking at the side of the sun, because this satellite obviously is right here in front of the Earth looking this way. Okay, now that does not mean that thing is close to us, because it's not. Okay, we don't have really a sense of depth here. We don't know the distance. We just can't know it because it's looking straight on, and it's not a three-dimensional model. So, but yeah, so that's what we're looking at there. Okay, guys, we're going to talk about the Sierra dust storm. Listen, we get these every year, just so everybody knows. This year, it's a little bit different because it's bigger. It's the biggest one we've seen in like 50 years. Okay, now these things can continue. I don't think they really know when they will stop, or start. They got good ideas by their weather forecasts and stuff, but what we're looking at right now is this is the first one. There's another one behind it. Okay, they call them dust plumes, is what they call them. But essentially, it's a big dust cloud coming across the Atlantic. Now, those of us that live over here, and I'm going to give a shout out to you guys, to all my guys that watch from not the United States, over in New Zealand, England, Australia, everywhere around, guys. I appreciate all you guys. I don't mean to not focus on your area too. It's just I don't know much about the rest of it, and I try to incorporate some of it, but I apologize if we're always looking at the United States. For those that are listening outside of the United States. But I think most of the stuff we talk about here is actually, we're talking about global effects, not usually regional or continental like what I'm talking about right here. Even this is more of a global thing, at least a hemispheric thing. But anyway, so we're getting these dust plumes, right? And this guy here, he's got somebody that is in Puerto Rico, or Dominica, I'm sorry. And Dominica is right down in here. Okay? And what we're going to see, and the reason why I'm showing you this one is because that he's actually his meteorologist friend that lives down there has taken before and after of the sky. What we're looking at. So this is a really good side by side to show you guys what the difference is. Okay, these were at the same time of day, looking in the same direction. You can see the mountains and everything else. The foliage is the same, but look at that. Okay, so that's the difference. On the left is what it should look like on a normal day. On the right, you see it. Okay, and something else is kind of crazy. They got some rain that day, so they went and looked. She went to look in the rain gauge and check this out. That's what the rain color was. So, when we start talking about like red rain and different colored rains and stuff, most of the time it ends up being something like this. And that's what I want to point out. Because I know that a lot of people, they tend to gravitate towards like apocalyptic type of stuff. If we see it raining a different color, why is it doing that? Is it something being done supernaturally? Is it something this, something that, right? Well, this time, this calls from a dust storm, guys. This one is. I'm not trying to claim I know anything about anything else right now, but what I'm trying to tell you is we got to look at this stuff, and, we got to kind of stay grounded at some level and not always go straight to the most crazy thing we can think about, right? And it's easy to do. I used to do the same thing, and I said that 1,000 times. But this is a good way to show you guys that it isn't always something apocalyptic. Okay, this is something that's normal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little piece of this video here, because they got a forecast model here, and what you're going to see is it's going to come up through like they're showing right there. It's going to come this direction. Okay. Now, the jet stream, I guess right now is kind of like this, okay? And if that was to stay like that, it would catch all this dust and basically go back out to sea this direction with it, okay? But here in the next day or so, the jet stream is actually supposed to kind of do one of those. So what that means is it's going to allow that dust to get further north before it makes its turn back out to the Atlantic. So instead of only affecting, kind of this amount of states, it's going to affect this amount of states. Okay, and at least that's what they're saying right now. So what we'll do is I'll just I'll get it to the position here, and I'll just play you that time lapse model. So he's showing you the same thing right there. But so here we go. Check this out. This is actually pretty cool. So again, here it comes, and see, this is what they're planning on it doing. See how far north it goes? It gets into Chicago. That's just crazy to me. I'll back that up, and we'll watch it again. Okay, let's go back to there. Well, back a little bit more. Okay. See that? Ain't that nuts? I thought that was crazy. But anyway, there's your update on the dust storm. Now, what's it going to do for us? Probably not a whole lot, just to let you know. We can see respiratory issues, I guess, people that've got asthma. I went over that yesterday, what it can actually do. If they stick around, they can actually dampen the strength of or even development of hurricanes. That's one of the biggest ones that it can do. So that's actually almost a positive if it can keep hurricanes weaker, But anyway. Okay, guys, I've been showing you guys the coronal mass ejections like a bunch lately, okay? And I'm going to show you this real quick. I actually made a few of these videos, and I put them in a playlist. And we're going to run through this one real quick. It's only like a minute and a half. And I'm doing that so you guys understand what's going on and why this is kind of odd of what we're seeing. This isn't what we all really expected to see, okay? At least I didn't, and I know many others didn't expect it to really go down like it's going down right now. We did expect an uptick, in the coronal mass ejections, but this was pretty quick like. So let me, I'm just going to play that along there. I got the music turned all the way off there. I got some music on this too. But I ran through some definitions there. Okay, so if anybody don't know what it is, basically it's plasma erupting off of the sun. Okay, and if you read this definition right there, look at the bottom. It says auroras typically occur when solar flares and coronal mass ejections, they disturb and distort our magnetosphere. Okay, so that's what's causing the northern lights. Solar wind can do it, but so can these. All right. So let me just I'm just going to kind of fast forward through this. And that's just a pretty good example of a CME. That's why I put that in there. One more here. Okay. So yeah, this is this definition and stuff that I found. Coronal mass ejections, they're powerful eruptions on the sun's surface, and they're caused by instability in the sun's magnetic field. Which, let me tell you something. That instability can be caused by different stuff. The sun can be perturbed by other things, okay, causing that instability. And that's the whole basis of a lot of the stuff we talk about. Okay, they can launch billions of tons of superheated gas into space. Now, you see in that thing there it says billions of tons. Now, I know it sounds like a bunch, and it is a bunch, okay? But we also have to understand how big space is, okay? If you compare and you kind of put some size comparisons there, you'll put it more in perspective. Okay, and this right here tells you about how it says into space at over 1 million miles per hour, or it's about 400 kilometers per second. Okay, the solar wind, like I've talked about before, usually hangs around between 300 and 500 kilometers per second. 400's right around 1 million miles per hour. So if that gives you an idea. And again, it says right here, occasionally one is aimed at the Earth. All right. Now, I put this this one in here right here. Okay. How often do they happen? Well, this right here tells you. This can happen several times a day when the sun is most active. Okay, that's during solar maximum. We're talking multiple CMEs a day. And it's kind of, we're not seeing multiple. We are, a couple here and there. But we're seeing small ones about every day now. But, I'll digress on that one. During its quieter period, CMEs occur only about once every 5 days. Okay? If you guys go back and just look at the videos I've done in the past month, we never once went 5 days in between CMEs. Okay? I was showing you pretty much 1 to 2 of them almost a day. So, but we're in solar minimum. So what the heck is going on? That's my point. We're starting to come up into a more active area of time of the sun, and it is starting to pick up. Now, again, I know one solar minimum can differ from another solar minimum. So we could see different activity levels, but for this to say, once every 5 days, we're definitely not seeing that. It's at least every couple days we're seeing a CME. A small one, at least. Okay? And that's why I'm showing you this, because I want you guys to get a better idea of what's actually happening there. Okay? And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Earth will be hit. Okay? And that's a fact. I think most of us can agree to that. All of us should, really. Because it is. It's an undisputable fact that we will be hit with a CME at one time or another. It just depends on how strong it is and how much it's going to affect us. So, how do we know solar minimum and solar maximum? Well, I did another video, guys, called what is solar wind or sunspot? I'm sorry. What is a sunspot? What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video, and I'm going to play that for you. Okay, to end the video. I want you guys to watch it. I put a pretty good song in there with it too. Kind of applies. It's one of the songs. It's actually a newer one right now. Yeah, you'll know when you listen to it. But I've also put that what is a sunspot in my playlist. So if you guys want to know exactly what that is, but I want to show it to you guys. I want you guys to watch it, and it's only like 3 minutes long. Okay, 3 or 4, but it explains what is, number one, what is a sunspot. Number two, that's how they decide what solar minimum is and solar maximum, the sun cycle. And I show you pictures, or actually time lapse, of the sun in solar maximum, in the sun in solar minimum. And if you haven't looked at that yet, it's probably going to blow your mind, the difference. Okay, so I'm gonna end the video with that part of the video. So I'll come back with you guys tomorrow. I'll try to keep up on everything, but yeah. So Yeshua saves, God bless, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.